Welcome back. My name is Teresa and I'm very much alive. Hello, how are you? I have an awful garbage filthy mouth where sometimes, just sometimes, I tend to use the word fuck as a comma. I know. I am amazing. If you're not into that or words up in general, this is definitely not the place for you. Feel free to exit out the video here. No harm, no foul. But I'll remember our time fondly. Y'all, I'm excited for today. We have so much Lethal to talk about. And listen, it's no surprise how much I love them. They have a piece of my heart, and yes, they are my child. However, even though most of these products were sent to me in PR, I will still give you my honest feedback. Because at the end of the day, constructive criticism only makes you better. You like that? That's a little HR 101 for you. Now, if you are ever interested in checking out Lethal Cosmetics, please use the code garbage. You can save 10% off your order. Please know I do not make any sort of commission off this code. This is purely for you to use and sprinkle garbage all over the internet. Anyway, let's talk about some of their recent releases. Okay, so Lethal came out with these glitch liquid eyeshadows. So these bubbies retail anywhere from $24 to $21, depending on which shade. I did receive 3 of them in PR, and I purchased 2 of them myself. The $24 shadows are considered to be, I guess, a multi-chrome, and those would be Cipher, Entropy, and Payload. These shadows have 3 different shifts. Cipher shifts from deep teal and emerald green to lime green, orange, and red. Payload shifts from orange to pink and violet, dark blue, and peacock teal. Entropy shifts from ivy to olive green to red, orange, and magenta. I'm going to be extremely honest to say initially when I tried this product, I was going to write them off. On a bare lid, it's patchy, and I cannot build up the opacity for the life of me. It's the kind of liquid eyeshadow that when you start to apply it and then you apply another layer on top of it, it starts to pick up the product underneath. Does that make sense? I'm not a fan of liquid eyeshadows that do that. There are some Stila ones that do that, and it's just highly annoying. But for me, the worst part about this liquid eyeshadow was that for some of the shades, I experienced a great burning sensation. And it was something that I couldn't handle. It went beyond spicy butthole. Spicy butthole is a walk in the fucking park compared to what I was experiencing on my eyes. Yet not as bad as Dominique Cosmetics. That has been by far the worst. So again, I was ready to shoot off this product into space to never be seen or heard from again. So I figured, let me try this again. This time I want to put a base underneath it. I decided to go with a black base, and the black base I chose to use is actually also from Lethal Cosmetics, and it's their eyeliner in the shade Redux. These not only make for wonderful eyeliners, but they also make for wonderful bases as well. And now I can actually appreciate the glitch shadows once I use this base. I didn't experience any patchiness. I can get full opacity in one swipe, and the longevity was amazing. There was no cracking, no fading. It really lasted up to about 12 hours when I was using this base. It was also incredibly easy to clean at the end of the day, and I have to say the heat definitely reduced in this product. Don't get me wrong, when I still apply it to the lid, there is a little bit of heat. It's lighter than a spicy butthole, which I can appreciate, and it dissipates very quickly. The base gives it a layer of protection, and for that, I thank you for your service. Overall, I'm happy that I found a solution on how to make these products work for me. But when I think about other formulas, especially the ones that have given me instant satisfaction, where I didn't need to do a lot of hand-holding for it to work, it makes me realize that these liquid multi-chromes are things that I probably will not purchase again. I give them A for effort because I like that they're releasing different things, but I just don't think this formula is probably the best for me. That being said, I am excited because I kind of feel like this is going to pave the way for a potential powder multi-chrome, which fingers crossed. Now, the other glitch shadows that retail for $21, I have them in the following shades. Gateway, which shifts from a dusty pink to gold, green and light blue, and Zero Day, which shifts from a lilac to orange and gold. I guess these are also kind of considered multi-chromes, but I put them in a separate category because I feel like the quality of these are slightly different from the quality in these. Again, applied on a bare lid, not super great. Kind of like the multi-chrome shadows, they come off a bit patchy, and you really need to layer on the product to get full opacity. I feel like I can do a better job of it using the $21 shadows as opposed to the $24. That said, if you layer this over existing shadow, it's fucking great. So I kind of consider these more eyeshadow toppers in that way. While they do look really nice over matte shadows, I think where they shine is over shimmer. It takes a lovely shimmer shade to more of like a metallic duochrome slut moment. It's really pretty. And I'm fucking here for that. As for the application for both formulas, I found that, yeah, you can apply it with a little brush to your eye, but I think for me, it's kind of a little bit of a pain in the ass. So what I like to do is actually take a small detailed brush and just apply it off the brush. That has worked wonders for me. I found that it takes about a minute or two for them to dry. Much like these multi-chromes, these will not budge off your face. They have great longevity. So again, you'll not experience any cracking or fading or bukkake of any kind. I also want to point out the shade 0 Day. There is some light staining. It gives me that someone farted on your pillow look. My eyelid gets all red. It doesn't hurt or anything, but it just doesn't look great. Honestly, you know, this is the one collection I was really excited about, but then when I got into my hands, I was a little less excited about it. And it stems from two things. One, needing to have a base to make it work, ultimately making the formula that should be weightless feel incredibly weighted on my eye, and the spicy butthole sensation. I'm not a fan. While I'm happy that I found ways for it to work, again, like I mentioned before, when I think about existing liquid eyeshadow formula on the market that I get instant satisfaction, instant payoff, I'm gonna gravitate towards those products like the Natasha Denona liquid multi-chromes. Like, those are fabulous. Yes, they're expensive, but to me, they're worth every penny. These, I wish I could say the same, I just can't. So I don't see myself repurchasing this in the future, unfortunately. So let's move on to the Rites collection. Lethal came out with a whole new summer collection. It has 3 mini palettes and 4 eyeliners. Lethal was kind enough to ask me, hey bitch, what do you want? And I said, hey bitch, I want everything. When it comes to their eyeliners and eyeshadows, I want them all. Listen, I love this brand so much. And I love their color stories, and I love how consistent their eyeshadow quality is. So with that said, each little 6-pan palette retails for $27. And it comes in this adorable packaging that's very reminiscent to their 12-pan packaging. The first palette is Destiny. It's described as a purple pink tone summer palette with 3 mattes and 3 metallic shadows. The next palette is Memento. It's described as a peach coral tone summer palette with 3 mattes and 3 metallic shadows. And last but not least, the Roots palette is described as a green yellow toned summer palette with 3 mattes and 3 metallic shadows. Now I'm going to talk about them as one big palette because I didn't find any inconsistencies between the shadows. I discovered that they all operated very much the same, which makes me a very, very happy panda. So let's talk about the mattes. I love Lethal's mattes. Yes, they're a little powdery. Yes, there's some kick up. Yes, there's some light fallout. But overall, they're pigmented, long lasting. You will not experience any cracking or fading or any kinds of bullshit. You will not experience patchiness, although I will say, I think there's maybe like 1 or 2, maybe 3 shades I have ever experienced patchiness with this brand. Usually, for the most part, everything is kind of on the up and up. And my favorite thing about Lethal shadows is that they all blend effortlessly. You will not have any difficulty blending with these shades. And I feel like the shades pair so well with each other that you can make beautiful gradients. You will not experience any shade overpowering each other. No moneyness will be found in these shades, okay? Like, these are fucking great. For these smaller palettes, which I feel like is the trend now, and honestly super happy about that, because I don't think my anxious brain can comprehend anything beyond like 12 shades, honestly. I get like really fucking overwhelmed really fast. I feel like Lethal did an excellent job of giving you your crease shade, your lid shade, and your outer corner shade. Now, moving on to the shimmers. Again, if you're familiar with Lethal shimmers and you know what you're working with, they are beautifully metallic. Yes, they have a lot of glitter in them. Bukkake galore, okay? So I will say that's probably best for you to do your eye makeup first and then the rest of your base. Unless you're totally fine looking like you fucked a disco ball. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying, that's what happens. I think what is my favorite thing about their shimmer formula is that you can use it wet or dry and have the same effect. But for me, I go with some glitter glue just so I kind of keep things in check because I have hooded eyes, and shimmer shades, no matter what brand they are, usually transfers like a motherfucker. These shadows are beautifully pigmented and sparkly. You can layer the shades and not experience any sort of wrinkly sack texture. They have great longevity and again, do not crack or fade. You will not find glitter sprinkling down your face at the end of the day. Everything pretty much stays in place. The only thing I want to point out is that 2 of the shimmer shades are kind of bordering the same. And this is really only for the Memento and Destiny palettes. When used in a gradient fashion, it's hard to tell the difference in the eye. The colors in the lid were a little too similar for my liking. And I'm sure it wasn't meant for putting all 6 colors on your fucking eye at once. I kind of noticed that when I was trying to make a gradient, is that 2 of the colors just look a little too similar. They kind of get a little bit lost in each other. Personally, my favorite palette is the Roots palette because of how perfect the shades Runic and Coven are. I love them, all right? They're fucking great. I have been waiting for Lethal to come out with a nice mustard yellow shade. A lime Kelly Green slime shade. They're fucking perfect. I feel like I have Sprite on my face. I love it. To me, this is probably the fun palette compared to these two palettes. Both Destiny and Memento are kind of tied for like Anne palettes with a twist. And I mean that in the best way possible. These are kind of like basic bitch color stories, but they do have that pop of color in there. So when Anne has her wild side, where she decides to like shoplift or eat grapes in a supermarket. Oh yeah, you can't do that anymore. Do you remember that? I feel like all moms did that, like would walk around with a bag of grapes and just like slowly eat them throughout their whole shopping trip and then be like, oh wow, half a bag of grapes? Like, okay, no one else's mother did that? All right, cool. Anyway. In the Destiny palette, the two standout shades for me was Evoke, which is a beautiful duochrome, and the shade Eclipse, which is a beautiful purple matte. Purples are notoriously difficult to make, but this one's incredibly pigmented and gives the palette a fun pop of color. Now the standouts in the Memento palette, Inhibit, which is a light gold with a red undertone. This one's super interesting, and I love the shade Kindred because it's a beautiful peach gold duochrome. If you can get one palette, I would recommend Roots because like I said, I think it's a fun palette of them all. But what I love about Lethal is their customization. So for example, say you like the mattes in this palette, but you like the shimmers in this palette. Lethal has a palette designer that allows you to create and mix and match your own palette. Whether you want a 6-pan, a 12-pan, or the Big Daddy, you can get whatever palette design you want. But keep in mind, if you are making your own color story, it is going to be a little bit more than getting these pre-designed pans, and that's where the coupon code comes in handy. So definitely use the code garbage to save yourself a little bit of money if you are interested in checking these products out. Anyway, I really love these summer palettes. I think they're fucking fabulous and I just love them. I love them. And last but certainly not least, let's talk about the new Side Effects eyeliners that have come out. These are $15.50 a piece, and these are motherfucking great. The packaging, I have to say, has been updated though, because initially they had like this glossy cap and now it's more of a matte black. And I feel like the bottles are maybe slightly a little bit rounder, or a little bit higher, a little bit fatter. I really do love the new look of the packaging. Super fucking pretty. So the 4 shades in the collection are BPM, which is a pastel coral, Loop, orchid, Playback, which is a spring green, and Treble, which is canary yellow. I use these liners almost every day. And these motherfuckers are coming in the casket with me, okay? Periodically, they release new colors, and these are definitely perfect for spring and summer. I have used them all. They are fantastic. This is what I love about Lethal. They're always so fucking consistent. If you're familiar with their liners, rest assured it's the same formula. Didn't experience any fucking issues at all. These little guys are super opaque. They can be used in the waterline. They can be used above the waterline. If you're one of those people that like to do that wing shit, bitch, you can do that too. These make for a wonderful fucking base. These little liners are the reason why those multi-chromes were working for me anyway. Like, I love that this is like a jack of all trades kind of an eyeliner. And if you have eye sensitivity like me, bitch, the wind can blow the right way and I'll be crying for 3 years. These are fabulous. I am such a nasty bitch when it comes to eyeliners. I know what I like. And a lot of people recommend stuff, and a lot of times, I would say 8 out of 10 times, it never works. These have been consistent from day one. And what's even more amazing about these little eyeliners is that you can mix and match and create new colors. Lethal has a lot of different eyeliner colors. And I really love the fact that I can mix this yellow with this green to make more of a blue color, or like a yellow with a pink to kind of make like a weird kind of like a light kind of orange color. Like, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do with them. You can use these liners as gradients. You can layer on top of each other. You will not experience any sort of cracking or fading or any kinds of bullshit. These motherfuckers stay. They stay put. They're awesome. These are fantastic, and I just love them. So anytime they come out with more, it's like, I need them all. Because I've actually stopped using most of my eyeliners in my collection because it's so much easier just to use these. Even though there are colors that haven't been created, I can mix and match these fuckers just to make my own color that I want. And that's fucking amazing. I love it. There's not a bad thing I can say about these. So if you're looking for a really good colorful eyeliner, fucking definitely go check those out. But I actually also want to point out too, I mentioned in my last video about camera ready cosmetics. I know the biggest thing about Lethal is their shipping, and there's nothing that we can do about it. Unfortunately, during COVID and them being an international brand, it's impossible to get cheaper shipping. So with that said, I do want to recommend Camera Ready Cosmetics for those that live in the States. If you have never been to Camera Ready Cosmetics, definitely go check them out. They're a wonderful online retailer that has quite a few different brands, and I also do have a coupon code with them. It's the code garbage. You can save 10% off your order. And I want to say that you can get the whole new collection on their site. It does say coming soon, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But if you want to purchase from them, feel free. Or if you want to check out some other brands that Camera Ready Cosmetics carries, feel free to do so. Again, use the code garbage. Either way, go to Lethal, go to Camera Ready. It's all the same fucking thing. Just use the code garbage. Again, I don't make any money off of it. It's just for you to save some coin. Okay. With that said, I want to say thank you so much to Lethal for sending these my way. And as always, I always look forward to seeing what you put out next. With that said, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button. It's free. And hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. To all my beautiful, wonderful patron bubbies, thank you so much for keeping this delicious, disgusting, filthy, really trashy, but beautifully glowy garbage boat afloat. I couldn't do without you. And I love your adorable little delicious faces. And I just want to love up on you like I always do. Just let me love up on you. If you want to know what is currently on my face, along with where to get all these products, everything will be listed in the description box below, along with my merch, my podcast, which don't worry, there's going to be episodes soon, hopefully, eventually. Blame life for getting in the way of everything. Again, everything will be listed in the description box below, and I'll see you little meatballs later. Bye.